Sri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Sri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Sri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai Pyara Naam Hai Tera Pyara Naam Hai Pyara Naam Hai Tera Pyara Naam Hai Sri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai कोई कहे वसुदेव की नंदन कोई कहे नंदलाला कोई कहे नंदलाल कोई कहे वसुदेव की नंदन कोई कहे नंदलाला कोई कहे नंदलाला
Sung. Prem Sabolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sitaram everybody. Let's all stand. As we begin with Arti, waving that divine light, please clasp your hands. And as we get set, as the shrotas are readying themselves, let us ready ourselves. Close your eyes. Let's do it right. Close your eyes. And as you prepare yourself to receive God, allow Him, invite Him inside. Many times we go to pray, but we don't pray. Artin is a form of respect. It is a form of worship. It is also a form of invitation. This is why we do it at the beginning of our discourse, that, dear Lord, we humbly respect you. We pay homage to you at the onset of our program. During this day, I had so many things. Somebody texted me today and said, Baba, I'm just sitting here upset. This could be anybody. And so many things distract you from the beauty of God's work, that a parent might never enjoy the joke of their child. A spouse could miss the laughter in a moment. We are distracted and bombarded by distraction constantly. Dear Lord, allow me to put all my distractions aside. Allow me to hone my energy onto you, whether it be in the words that are about to come from this text or the murtis that sit in front of me. Allow me to focus just a little bit. Ajam cha Varti Sanyuktam Grahina Yojitam Mayam Devam Grehana Devesham Trailokya Temidapaham. As we wave this light, as we knock the drum, as we come to life with the singing of God's name, let's all sing together and glorify our Kanha, our Lord Vishnu. Jai Jagadish. Let's join together. Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Come on, everybody, let's sing together. Swami Papa Haro Deva, Shraddha Bhakti Bhadao,
Shraddha Bhakti Bhadao, Santan ki seva, Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Jagadish Hare, Swami Jai Jagadish Hare. भक्तजनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो, 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 गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो,
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो। हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी, 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी,
हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी।
गोवर्धन गिरिधारी, जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी, जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी, जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी।
Gajananam. With one voice, everybody, let's pray together. Kapit Jumbo, Umasutam Shoka, Namami Vigneshwara. Oh Ma, tonight we come to do a wonderful discourse. Brothers are going to meet tonight, oh Mother. Mahadev Baba is going to dance. He's going to relish this moment. Mother, this is what he lives for. Lord Shiva takes form. He incarnates upon the earth to be an assistant to Mahavishnu in his Leela. And one of those moments happens tonight. Mother, may you allow us to enjoy this discourse. Mother, may you bless your children tonight. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye
शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके,
Sharanye
त्र्यंबिके गौरी,
Narayane
नमोस्तुते।
Gurur Brahma
गुरुर्विष्णु,
Gurur Devo
महेश्वरा,
Gurur Sakshat
परं ब्रह्मा,
Tasmai Shri.
गुरुवे नमः।
Together everybody. Om Namo
भगवते
Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
One last time, this time with all your love. Kanha, listen to our prayer tonight. You hear them, Lord? They want to go, and Pandit is holding them back. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Principal of Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Please have your seats, everybody. Please make yourself comfortable. Shrotas, if you would like, for the adults that would like to have a seat, you could go off on the side and pull a chair. And when we're ready to start back, you can come back up. Your choice. Sit down, everybody. Let's continue from last night. Last night we picked up where Draupadi is nearly raped. This young lady is manhandled in full vision of her children. Of her husbands. But because of this mistress, to use a word, this mistress that we sometimes maintain as humans, some people call her gambling. This lady is so addictive that she will rob you of everything that you have. And you wouldn't know when you gave it away for many people. Last night it showed how deadly gambling could be. In this family, they lost everything. Yudhishthir gives up one by one, piece by piece. Everything that he has worked for, everything the brothers have attained. He even reaches to the point he gives them away, one by one, all his brothers. And when intoxicated and enticed with the possibility that you could win back what you've lost, O king, O great king, by the opponent, who knows secret mantras that once said, as I was saying it, for children to understand. If you've ever seen people rolling dice and they blow, why would you need to blow on dice? Unless, if you've ever been jarried, when they say prayer, Hindus pass that energy, drishti, in that way, in that mode. In this way, he knew the uncle, the mamu of the bad guy, Duryodhan. He knew such a prayer. And, as is evident, every time he threw the dice, he got what he wanted. One by one, he won every wager that was given. Then he says, you still have your persona, you still have your personality, you still have yourself. Bet yourself in a gambling match. I'm sure you will win back everything. No doubt. This is where it will turn. He lost himself. And where it got interesting, devotees that weren't here last night, is where he now was asked to bet his last asset, his wife, the boy's wife. The 5 of them were married to her. But he makes a decision to bet his wife. Wonderful conversation ensued. Different threats were made by Bhima. Come in, their chairs to the front. Come in. Wonderful threats were made by Bhima. You who are exposing your leg to my wife to taunt them. She's been lost. She's a slave now. Look where she will sit on my leg. And he shows him this leg. Bhima could not take this from his cousin. You know, you're disrespecting my wife. And he says, you see that leg you're exposing? I'm going to break that leg. Before I give up this life, if I don't do it, my soul will not rest. I keep this promise. I'm going to destroy you by your legs. Many hurtful words like that started. They get the opportunity. We hear the opportunity of Lord Krishna coming and saving his devotee, Draupadi. by continuously allowing her body to be clothed. And then in the end, by her prayer, they get away. They are returned to their status as king. And when they get away at a distance, they call them back to gamble. They order them, you have to come back. And they lose again. Now, they've been banished. Now the deal, if you lose the last hand of the match, now you will have to live in exile in the forest. Take off all the gold and jewel and live there quietly for 12 years. But in the 13th year, live secretly. Don't let no one know who you are. If you achieve this, you can come back. But if you are discovered, if someone says, oh, that is Bhima, he's so strong, or in any other way you are recognized, you will have to stay an additional 12 years. Meanwhile, Duryodhana, the caretaker now of their city, the riches, the castle and all that go with that, he's getting to enjoy their wealth in their absence. Tonight we enter into a discourse where we are with them in the forest. Vedvyasji says, the feet of this young wife are so delicate because as a princess, she was never allowed to walk much, but she was carried in palanquins where she had to go. Now, fate is so rough, karma is so inexplicable, without warning, without any foresight. The same sore foot is now being punctured by picker and stones of a forest. She's bare feet and she's now experiencing pain that she's never had to endure. Forget the piercing of the foot. Forget the blood that is coming from her feet. She never walked so much. She's tired. She's perspiring. She's sweating. She's fatigued. This is where we enter our discourse tonight. Everybody, let's join together as we sing one slok after the other. Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda
Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala
Draupadya Vanavantyanti Priya Priya Kurvaye Samudya Som Chinta Chintaye Yudhishthir Ye Chintamana Ye Aasi
Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala
Pushpahetu Kathaye Swargalok Yudhishthir Yeshwara Ye Natam Sadhaye Bhalla Ye Dvijanetyam Nakula Sahadev Ye Chatam
Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanhaiya Gopala
They are walking Yudhishthir, the big brother, he's in front. Arjun, Sahadev, Nakul, they're following. And where he stepped, they stepped. Treading this dangerous forest. This is not inhabited by humans. This does not have homes and houses or hermitage. No, they want to be in a remote place. They go by themselves. All forms of wildlife, all predators are around. Bhima, the strongest, he remains to the back of the line where Draupadi is. And he's the one who turns around and he sees a trail of red footsteps in the forest. Thinking and wondering, is this a spirit that is following us? Then he realized that his dear wife was bleeding by the feet and she hadn't said anything, she didn't complain. And he says, Devi, take a rest. He placed her on a nice stone, a nice rock, and carefully he starts to pull out one by one of the prickles. He calls on Nakul and Sahadev. They stop, they hold Arjun. They call to Yudhishthir. But oh Ganesh, oh Jan Vijay, as Guruji is giving the discourse, he says Yudhishthir is far in his mind. He is so guilty. His head is full of worries. He is studying that look what I have done to myself. Yesterday I was sitting on a throne, and because I became so enticed in this gambling, knowing that I was up against the enemy, I know I was against people that was against me, full with envy, jealousy, and all types of black magic. I allowed myself to get sucked into this chasm. And I'm here. I deserve it. But look at my brothers. Look at their body. Look at their tiredness. And with this in thought, he is walking. He is not paying attention. And they have to call on him, grab him and say, brother, come. See what is happening to our dear Draupadi. See what's going on with her. And they see the blood and they're wiping and giving her a chance to catch herself. And while she is blotting the skin, never knowing to feel this humid before, while she's sitting there, something is being smelled, something is in the atmosphere, a sweet scent. And she's looking around, looking for the source. Let's hear what happens.
Draupadhyam khayatam Bhima pulaye ati Bradaye brijato bridako dhara Singye kam pulaye ati. Everybody together.
Beautiful flower, golden in hue, that was given off a type of pollen that emitted such a sweet scent. Just by inhaling, she started to feel better. She started to feel as if the fatigue, the tiredness, the weariness was lifting from her body. And when the flower came closer and closer and it dropped in her lap, the pain from under her feet lifted, feeling rejuvenated, as if blessed, as if sanctified by some magical form or force. She is now 100% ready to continue the journey. But Bhima, this monster of a man, he is still caring very delicately, and he's asking her, are you feeling good? Are you okay? She says, oh husband, this flower came close to me and this is what it did to me. I look at our Yudhishthir, our leader, and I see the bewilderment on his face. I see the pain, the guilt. I wish him to have a garland of these type of flowers so that he could be rid of all the worry and the frustration, the guilty, all the different things that is plaguing him right now. He is my husband and I know how he is paining. And my only wish, O Bhimsen, is help me find a way to save him. His burden is my burden, and I cannot be happy if he is under distress. O Bhim, you have the power of Mahadev Baba within you. You have the strength of a lion. Go, follow this trail of golden pollen. Follow this scent. Find where this flower is growing and bring back for me all you can carry. I wish to make a gift to him. I want him to know, as a result of what we talked about yesterday, I want him to know I have a no ill will. I have a no grudge. She says, I remember my wedding vows. There will be rough times in the marriage, but I will not have a grudges. We will work it out and we will move forward. I am ready to move forward and heal, and I want my husband to heal with me. Please, please, oh Bhim, help me in this moment. Bhim started to roar. He felt very useful. He felt as if he could do something, and he wanted to bring help not only to his brother, but he wanted to grant this wish to her. With one roar, this monster of a man went into the bush. Me and you might look for the road. We might look for the pathway where less trees are located. This fella has no obstacle. Nothing is too big and too strong. With his pride, he goes where the biggest tree. He dissects that forest in a straight line, and whatever is in his way, he knocks down with sheer force. When he sees a tree, he moves it. Guruji says, when he started to roar, as that power started to awaken within him, he was roaring so much, the predators started to get afraid. They went hiding within their dens. Animals started to run and scamper from big to small. Every form of life was moving. And he is moving with such ferocity, with such pace, that he is clearing a pathway now in the forest. Let's hear what Guruji says.
Tato bahu sudhayatam bahu sudhe ye krodhan sway bahu bhala ye mrigatena gajendra nata ye aati. Come on everybody, let's sing together. As he was moving, he started to see the gold speckles in the sky. As an indicator, he was close. He goes, he follows in that direction now, manipulating his path to align himself where this field of these blessed flowers were blooming. And as he's going closer and closer, devotees, the scent is becoming more saturated. It is becoming stronger and stronger, and he is breathing in more and more. And his power, he feels more energized, and he's going faster now, squealing at the top of his lungs, running everything away. Someone is lying at the path that is in front of him, O Ganesh. Mahadev Baba in Kailash had sent somebody. Kailashpati knew that Mahabharat was coming, the war was coming. And Lord Shiva talks to his own incarnation. He talks to Hanuman. And he says, go and position yourself in such a way that you must teach Bhim something. Bhim is like a wonderful weapon, but he is dull. He's out of control. He has no art within him. And if he remains as such, he will be very useless in the war. When we heard last night everything that was done to aggravate him, he made threats. Every time they did something to inveigle him, he made a curse upon somebody. I am going to kill you. I am going to rip open your chest. And he was very reactive. He was not in control. He had no equilibrium within his body. Mahadev says, he who has my essence, he who has my energy, he comes from me. Go and teach him humility. Go and teach him how to hone his skills. Become not only the sword that will destroy the enemy, but become a sharpened sword. Know how to pick your battles. Know how to when to hold back and when to let loose in a fight. Go and teach him what is his responsibility. Don't let him fight every time. He can just let loose and fight, because then he will destroy everybody. Everybody around him will suffer, and he will become a monster and not a blessing. Go, Hanuman, and do this task for me. Hanuman goes at the request of Mahadev and lies on the road in front of where the garden is. He has to block Bhima. Bhima is coming with force, and Hanuman, not with Mukdar, not with all the weaponry and the gold now. This is after Sri Ram walked the earth. Krishna is on the earth now. Hanuman Baba plays the part as an old soldier, gave up the weapon, and if you could imagine, with Kanhawa around his neck, he's lying propped and he's waiting for his student to come so the lesson could begin. Waiting in this way, Bhima is coming. Oh Ganesh, sometimes in this life, on our pathway, we don't know the lessons that will come. Let's hear what he tells him in the next sloka. He does not know what is coming.
Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala.
Come on everybody.
Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala. Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala.
Shano Dam Dam Narayantam Bhakta Bhakta Vanaraye Prata Him Tovi Nayakaye Kapi Hanumane Ye Ati.
Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala. Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya Gopala. Devaki Nandana Govinda Kanha Kanhaiya
Principle of Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki. When he reaches up on this person, he does not know who is lying in front of him. He sees somebody there. He knows it's a Vanar. You and I know it's Hanuman, but he doesn't know. And in the speed, you know, in cartoon, when a cartoon mash bricks, you see a puff of dust. He mashed that kind of bricks. And he says, oh, you foolish monkey. You are blocking an emissary of God, a messenger of God. I am on the side of goodness. Move. Don't hamper my movement. Don't block me. Move. Listen to the words of Hanuman, first lesson. O monster of man, O young, powerful, full of vibrance, full of life and energy, God has blessed you with every facet and facility that a human can have. You are in your full prime, young one. However, clearly my time has passed, and my body is now so slow. I lay here full of drowsiness. My body now is so aged, I can't move with the speed you move. I can't move from here, oh son, walk around me. He says, no, you are in the walkway. Get up and move aside a little, and I will pass. And one loud yawn that bellowed like a sunk itself, that made Bhima take a step back.
You are so weak, but you can make all this noise. Lift your tail. Lift literally the tail. Lift your tail and allow me to pass. He says, oh young one, look at the size of the tail. It is not so easy to lift it. Cross it. Cross and go. I can't move. Don't study this, old boy. Go. Bhima says, I know. Listen to this. I know where God lives. I know about Dharma. I know about the Vedas. I know that God lives within each and every person. And when you cross a person like that, it is a disrespect and it is a sinful thing because of the inherent God inside. Isn't it, devotees, in our culture we don't practice crossing people? This is why. He says, I cannot do that, oh elder one, I can't do you that. But if you don't move, I'm going to damage you. You don't know who I am? Hanumanji says, I don't know who you are, you loud person. You're very loud. But do you know, if you know so much, do you know that in virtue, when a person has a lot of power, when a person has a lot of energy, or in your job, power, in your family, sway, because of your age, because of your money, whatever you want to check it as, when a person has a lot of power, do you know it doesn't mean you use the power? Do you know there's a point where you show mercy to those that are less fortunate or smaller than you or older than you or weaker than you, however you want to watch it? In this forest you came here like some alien beast, frightening so many forms of life out of their homes and their niche. But now you are talking about God lives in everybody. Devotees, do you know how many people in their job meet with an alien beast like this? I am the manager today, and I'm going to victimize you because I can. People experience that every day. The husband will say, my hand heavier than your hand, and you will get it today. In many different ways, we have beasts like this. You and I could be a beast because this beast was blind. He didn't know. He had no idea how bad he was, what type of tyrant he was. He did not know. No one told him. Do you know somebody like that? No one says to you, you know, you are more of a weight in our life than a blessing. Not everybody could take that type of awakening or rude truth. This fella is going to get it now. He says, you're talking about religious. Have you ever heard somebody do this? They talk, they know every virtue, they know every slok, every word from the Bible, the Gita, the Quran, they know it. But to practice it is a different story. He says, you know about all this, and still you are living differently. You have destroyed this ecosystem of a forest. What are you talking about, oh young one? You are truly foolish. Somebody with this amount of pride and self-proclaimed power, self-proclaimed position, you tell them they're foolish and you just made an enemy. He becomes angry. He starts to breathe differently, as if there's a bison within his body, puffing, ready now to take some type of action, out of control. He says, oh, you with that coppery face, that long tail, what is your name? Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who my family is? Are you sure you're drowsy and not drunk? because you are acting out of your senses. Hanumanji looks at him and he says, you sure I out of my senses? Look at you. You are in the fullest of your youth. You are supposed to be so tranquil and happy. You have your health. And you are behaving as if God made you in the form of a bison, puffing with red bloodshot eyes for no reason. If I can't lift this tail, it's not my fault. Is the tail way heavy? And you're angry. Why? Why allow yourself to sink to this base moment like an animal? You are destroying yourself. Oh son, if you know about Dharma, humble yourself. Humble yourself and you will find your way. This made him more angry. This didn't help the situation too much. Ganesh writes that the soul, the Jew, could uplift, and that same Jew can pull down itself by the choices, by the words, by the thoughts, and the actions. What you do is what will predict where you are going. In his mind, in Bhim's mind, now that he's very aggressive, the blood is close to the skin. One more word and he would have tripped. One more. He says in his mind, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to kill this monkey. I am going to send this monkey to Yamraj, first class. I am going to do that today. Innocent, animal, less knowledgeable, less sense, however you want to watch it. But now within this person, he started off saying he was a God's messenger. But this is the message. I'm going to kill him. He says, son, if you are so capable with your goodly self, please lift my tail. And when you lift the tail, you'll put it one side and you may go. Smiling, happy, chirpy, cheery, and that was instigating Bhim more. No matter what face Bhim put on, for children here, no matter what he showed him, Hanuman kept smiling, and he did not let that turbulation, that disturbance get into him. Bhim holds on to the tail. One hand. Your right hander, let's go the left hand first. Weaker hand holds on to the massive tail and he tries to lift it. Does not budge. It's not that it couldn't lift and it shifted on the ground. It did not move. So he holds on now with the good hand, the right hand, and starts to pull. Have you ever tried to lift something and sweat is coming, but that which you are trying to lift cannot move? This thing was as if it was casted to the floor. And he's pulling and straining and trying and it could not go. And Hanuman is laughing all the time. Stop tickling. Come on, and you said you were strong. You was hitting down trees a second ago. You can't lift a monkey's tail now? Come on, man, you're playing with me. Don't play with me. Lift the tail and go your way. Let me sleep. Let's hear what happens. Hanumanji wants to talk to him, but Bhim, while straining, let's hear what he says. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. वानर हमसे ये मरखा प्रधाने हनुमान में भ्राता साधु गायक ये त्वं प्रे प्रतिमा ये वै स्वयं ता जय भोले बाबा तब शरणा जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
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 जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
नाम सदा शिव तब शरणम
जय आपी हनुमान ये नाम सागर रोये प्रीतियामि त्वयि नरज्ञातं कथायेदं यदि यदि आते जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
नाम सदा शिव तब शरणम
Holding on to the tail. Mahadev Baba is looking on. Hanuman Baba closed his eyes in the moment. Lord Shiva is at a distance on Kailash. But he's reveling in this moment. These two energies come from him and they are meeting, both sons of the wind. Listen to the words of Bhima. Remember the first night we said, Kunti prayed to various devatas to get children. And she got Bhima. Mahadev Baba saw that this Pavanasut was meeting this next Pavanasut. The son of the wind is meeting the son of the wind. Mahadev Baba is happy to witness this moment. Hanumanji is laughing and he's waiting for the pride of Bhima to break when he cannot lift the tail. And when he's straining in the middle, he says, do you know who I am? I am the brother of Hanuman. Pawan is our father. And I am the younger brother of that Pavanasut. That same Hanuman that everybody sings about. That is my blood. Don't test me in this way. Hanumanji opened his eyes bright now because he wanted to know what he talking about. You are touching Hanuman and you don't know who Hanuman is, but you are riding this name that you come from and that is supposed to give you some character. He says, who Hanuman? I've heard the name, but I don't know such person. Who is he? What did he do? Bhima says, oh, you sinful person. That was the emissary of Sri Ram. At a different time, he jumped over the ocean. He did so many things. And in his mind, even now, Bhima says, I am going to send you to Yamraj. You sinful person. You don't know who Hanuman is? You are so lost, you don't know his name, what he stood for in life. Hanumanji says, you got quiet for a second there, as Bhima was thinking. He says, you got quiet. Tell me, who is Hanuman? Tell me, who is your brother? Who is your family? What did he do? I don't know about this person. Let's hear what he says. Evam mukta hanumatam virama grivya karma pal manasya vishwaye ati charma bhima swabhaho jaya bhole baba tab charanam
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम
जय सांब सदा शिव तब शरणम
नाम सदा शिव तब शरणम
रामो रामो गीतातम सूर्य ये प्राणी ये चाहती चलनी ये भीम पश्चात महात्मनो ये आती जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम everybody
बाबा तब शरणम
जय भोले 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 बाबा तब शरणम
जय सांब सदा Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam.
Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. Pavana Putra Hanuman ki. He says that Hanuman is the one who gave salvation, mukti, to Lankini just by touching her face. He is the one in Ram Gita. Last night I mentioned Vidur Gita. Tonight there is something called Ram Gita. This is a section of Ramayana where Sri Ram gives instructions to everybody. He's about to leave the earth, and his last words, his last teachings, this information was what came in that text called Ram Gita. In Ram Gita he says, whilst in the Surya River, he says, Hanuman, remain here and safeguard my devotee, safeguard that person who is in peril, safeguard that person who has faith, safeguard that person who is in danger, safeguard that person who calls on you. Hanuman, I am leaving you here. When I return in my next janam, in my next form, in Dwapar, when I will come to lift the Govardhan, you will be there to help me do my work. In the meantime, Hanuman is the person who remains. Oh monkey, like you, he was a huge Vanar, muscular, but potent with knowledge, control. He wasn't an animal. He wasn't out of control. Please remember what Bhima is saying. This is the person out of control. He says there's an incident at the end of Ramayana. Sita Mata gives a Ratna Mala, a very expensive Mala, to Hanumanji. And Hanumanji starts to bite at the Mala. He says, that's my brother. That guy started to bite pearls and crush them like if they were ice. And Vibhishan, now Lord of Lanka, says, oh you fool, Hanuman, the animal inside of you is affecting your brain. Your cognitive sense is not there. Maybe somebody hit you too hard with a mukdar. But why are you destroying something as valuable as pearl? And then, why are you desecrating the gift that mother gave you? He says, that's my brother. That is the person I belong to. He says, my brother replied to him, Vibhishan, that mother gave me a jewel. But what value does this jewel have if it doesn't have my Lord in it? Vibhishan could not understand that. He says, it's a pearl. What would a pearl have in it other than the essence of pearl? He says, oh, you monkey, do you have God inside of you? Why don't you show me where God lives in you? Tears started to run down Hanuman's face. When somebody tests what you believe in, and you know that emotion to be true. This devotee now in front of a court of people, oh monkey, my brother, says, let me show you where God lives. And he ripped open his chest to show that God lived within him. Principal Pauna Putra Hanuman ki jai. He says that personality, that powerful individual is my brother. There are many discourses, many excerpts listed here. Hanumanji listened and lovingly enjoyed what he was saying, but not the fact that he was embellishing or mamagaing him as Hanuman. But he was very clear that Hanuman was in control of all the siddhi. When we are singing Hanuman Chalisa, Ashta Siddhi now Nidhi Ke Data. Ashta Siddhi means he has the 8 powers. I can grow, I can minimize myself, as he did in Katha. amongst other things. I can be male, I can be female, I can disguise myself with efficiency beyond compare. I have this power, but I don't abuse that power. I am in control. Remember Kunti the first night? She got a little mantra, and without proper thought, without proper thinking of the consequence, she ends up as a virgin mother. She ends up not being married, but she now has a baby in the form of Karna. Bhima goes on to talk, and he says, "Oh monkey, I now realize that you have to be some Gandharva, a celestial musician. You have to be something more. You are testing me." By the touch of Hanuman, that humility came. Do you know that when Hanuman appears, by his presence, you get blessing. By his shared space, the energy that is permeating out of his body, you get upliftment. Do you know why? Lord Vishnu says, wherever my devotee is, wherever he walks, wherever he talks, wherever he listens, wherever he sits, such a person brings about that blessedness. So when you go to satsang and you get to sit down next to people that are praying, you are in the company of your own version of Hanuman. This is what makes Hanuman immortal. His character as being a powerful person, but still humble and faithful in his prayer. All the rewards that he reaps is because of this character. He says, I realize now, Bhima, I realize now that you are not a normal person. Please tell me who you are. Hanumanji turns right there on the floor, and he says, I am the son of Vayu, and my name is Hanuman. Imagine the embarrassment. Imagine the shame of this younger brother now. I acted so foolish. I feel ashamed. He drops to his knees. He puts his head now to the feet of this sleeping big brother. He says, you are so powerful and you are so humble. You have no crown on your head. You have no jewel on your body. How is it that you are able to do it? And he says, this is the reason I came. I follow the teachings of my Lord and my Master, Sri Ram. I served him and I got the blessings that I have. I remained on this earth to protect people by his will, to protect people from danger and harm. But my brother, you are so great. You are so powerful. Please remember this. You are so powerful. I have to save you from you. You alone are your own worst enemy. God has given to you so much inherent power, ability, mental, physical, spiritual. You can reach and achieve everything. But when you act in this way without humility, when you act in this way as an uncorralled animal, you are a danger to everybody. Which hand will you not bite when you are like a ferocious dog? Where, oh brother, is that divinity you spoke about? When is that divinity going to shine through? He says a divine person in Bhagavad Gita chapter 16. Lord Krishna will talk about soon. Sunday morning we're doing Gita. Lord Krishna talks about who is demonic and who is divine. A divine individual is a person who knows what is proper procedure. For the working person, the SOP, the standard operating procedure for a given situation, how to react, how to handle a crisis, and not blame somebody else, not hurt somebody else, not accuse in the job. I didn't do it. Me, I never had the keys to the vault. She did it. She is the one. But actually, the ability, the opposite now, the right thinking person, and you see it sometimes when you get around a person who is mature in their mind. The buck stops here. I will take the responsibility of whatever happened. In this home, I am the father. My child made a mistake. I'm not going to blame the mother. Have you ever seen parents do that? When I was teaching, the day the child got an A, this is my son, Pandit. This is my boy. The day he get the F, you see what your son do? And throw away that child. A certain amount of maturity to any situation that God presents in front of you. This is a divine person because they are acting appropriate. Read your Gita, you'll see it. The person who knows the right action for a moment, that is a God-activated person. They are working with the guidance of that internal, inherent God, whispering in their ears. Imagine the angel and the devil, what to do, what not to do. But the person is acting correct. So they are listening to the angel for children to understand. He says, brother, when you adopt this type of lifestyle and you are ready to punish somebody, you will have the right reasons and rationale to do it. You will never regret. If you become a king, you will make just decision. You will learn. Sometimes we hear one side of the story and we're ready to kill the other side. This is what he was doing. He was always rash. He was always ready to hammer. You ever hear somebody say you're using sledgehammer to kill ants? This is the person. Overreacting. Too much of force. I'll give you an example. You know, it have some parents like that. A child makes this amount of mistake. Rather than talk to your child or even make time for your child, I want to beat it out like blood must come out of this child tonight. But all the time, you didn't do your homework. You didn't talk to that child. You didn't love that child. You did not show that child what was right. Remember the words of Kunti when she was a little girl? Oh Father, you taught me only righteous. With your example, I cannot go wrong. I don't know what is the bad steps to make. I don't know what is the corruption because I was not exposed to it. But in our homes today as pundits, we meet people like that. Pandit, you see me, I can kill that child. I make it and I can break it. Last year when we were doing the play, I did it. Remember the last year? He says, you must be able to control yourself even in a moment of test. And if you do that, brother, today I am here to bless you. Today, if you can humble yourself, this is all I'm asking for. Prem se bolo Pavana Putra Hanuman ki Jai. Bhima put his hands together like this and he begged his brother, help me become a better person. Show me the way. Open the door for this sinner, now sinner, to find footing in this life by your example. Be my big brother. Don't be a stranger anymore. If you are my big brother, let me know you so that I can follow your example. He says, oh brother, show me your form. Show me the true luster that you took at the beginning of Sundarkan when they reminded you of who you are. Show me how you stretched to the sky. Hanumanji, Jai Shri Ram. And in one go, he let his head reach to the heavens. Bhima, not being able to appreciate, understand like a child, to assimilate this force and this amount of darshan, to see Hanuman stretch in this way, this magnanimity. He says, oh brother, please come back small. Please return to your original form. Hanuman says, but isn't that what you wanted to see? Oh Bhim, ask me. Ask me for a boon. Ask me for a blessing. If you, listen to this, if you tell me now to go and tie Duryodhana up in chains, tell me now and I'll go bring him and I'll avert this entire war. I will bring all of them and drop them at your feet. I will beat them for you. I am your big brother. Had my Lord, had my master asked me when he sent me to see Janki, if he had asked me then and there to destroy, to sink the entire island of Lanka, I would have done it. And that war would have never happened. Just as that city burnt, I could have continued burning that city and bring her home just as I returned. But my Lord did not request that. And I wanted him for his Leela to show the examples that he did show. It had to allow to unfold. But if you want now for me to go and bring them so that you can have your way with them, just ask. And I am on my way, O smaller brother. Prem Sablo Pavana Putra Hanuman ki. What would you have done? Let's pretend we're trying to go from out of control Bhim to control Hanuman, the two sons of Vayu. I am not there yet. I'm in the middle. I'm trying. I'm hearing a little discourse. So may I reach to the end of the road yet. But if somebody disrespected you, your spouse, tried to rape, for the man here, tried to rape your wife, and then someone comes and says, I have a way I could bring your enemy to your knees. Bring them to their knees, sorry. At your feet, I will throw them bloodied and broken at your feet. What would you do? Be honest with yourself. Gauge yourself. Are you like Bhim or are you like Hanuman? This person who, as I'm saying, activated God within him. Bhim says, brother, as you said, the Leela of Lord Vishnu has to play. And if it is war is coming, then my only job is to prepare, like you, to follow in your example, to prepare for that war properly. Don't hurt them, but protect us. This is my prayer. Stand with me, that when I go to battle, when that time comes for me to take the field, when I make my right step, you step with me. Hanumanji smiled. Let's hear. We have to pause this course just a bit because we want to put on this play for you. Let me do this last verse for now before we continue. Please clasp your hands. This is applicable to everybody. Hanumanji replies. Imagine in your mind, close your eye for a second. Imagine how you feel as parents when your children make you proud. Mahadev Baba, his job is accomplished. In this moment, Bhim takes the change that they want him to have. Deva Devanuga Garbhadhana Yaksha Janda Janda Ye Snanam Namasnanam Krita Yoga Tad Tad Jivan Prana Ale Kurukshetra Pandu Pandu Janda Dhanam Mangalam Danam Kriyayatam. Prem Sablo Pavana Putra Hanuman ki jai. He says, The time for me to pick up a weapon and fight, that time is gone. The power that I once wielded when Sri Ram walked the earth and I could touch him and feel him, the energy that my body once had, and the way I was young and ferocious, that time has changed. Know that I, the son of the wind, I am there with you on that battlefield. And wherever from this day onward my flag, my janda is hoisted high, I am going to be there. I am going to rule there. I am going to protect there. Let Arjun put my flag high above his vehicle. Let you, your brothers, your side, hoist that flag above your vehicle. And I will protect each and every one of you. When you blow your sank, read your chapter 1 Bhagavad Gita. And sometimes people wonder, why is the author writing this one was blowing sank and that one was blowing sank, and why? What is the relevance? At the initiation of that battle, when they bellow that sank to show Lord Vishnu's potency, Hanuman was blowing, Hanuman was squealing, Hanuman was in that flag getting ready for that war. He says, when you charge, I will charge with you. When you attack, I will attack with you. When your energy is there, my power will multiply. And I will give you the Vardhan to destroy man or mountain. His word, man or mountain, whatever comes in front of you, it will move. Principal Pauna Putra Hanumanaki. This is why, last night I asked a question, tonight I'm answering. This is why when you have your puja, and blessed Pandits like Pandit Sunil come and diligently do prayer, notice, isn't it the Hanuman flag is be a little higher? The thinking behind it is this. As a Hindu, knowing this discourse, I would like to hoist my Hanuman above my home. So where the boucher of the roof is, at least the lower part, I'm aiming to get that peak a little higher. And once that Hanuman red flag is flying, he will protect this premises. He will protect my family. When you see people put Rudraksh bead and different things in their car, it is not for aesthetic looking reasons alone, but the mere presence of these things protect a person. Look at Lord Shiva and see if he has Rudraksh only around his neck, like the Pandit who is wearing it for protection, but he wears it on his wrists, on his arms to guard him. It is an indicator to you how you should be guarded. This is just another way, another form. Do you have any idea how many people, if a child, let's say a child, mommy, daddy, uncle, nanny, pua, whoever, why would he put the Hanuman flag higher than everybody else? He tall. One day I went to do prayers and a child asked me that Hanuman Baba tall. I see Ganesh Baba flag does be short so and he will be high so. Tonight, yes, we speak about humility. But remember, amongst other things, at least for children, the value of your flag. That is what shows there's a reason we plant that flag. Besides, you are, when you stamp it down, Jai, the 5 ticker that you put, you call the 5 element, Ganesh, Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, Surya, Narayan, live in this staff, in this janda, and protect my place, protect my family. Hanuman ji, you in this flag, in this cloth, in this simple form, safeguard us. When someone desecrates that flag, you don't know the injustice you are doing. You don't know the troubles you will be causing to yourself. If nobody knows the value of that flag tonight, remember, you remember the value of your jandi. This is not a place for people to spit. This is not a place for people to throw cigarette butts, etc. This is a place to be kept and maintained, usually in your northeast corner of your home. when done properly, some of the dreams that people have, some of the frightful incidents they see in their homes, some of the arguments that they have, these things don't have to be the way they are. And if done properly, that simple jandi could protect you from such. Prem Sivula Pavana Putra Hanuman ki Jai. Let me share the mic as I pause and we get set to do a little skit. We are not professionals, so bear with us.
Did you enjoy this evening's discourse? Yes. Tell Pandit Sitaram. Tell him you love him. Are you happy now, Panditji? You want any more? And you want me to throw flowers? Okay. Well, it is my pleasure this evening to introduce you to a small skit that will be put on by members of the temple. And in today's skit, the central point is faith and the importance of faith in a person's life. Remember the first verse of Bajrang Giban, which means, I'm going to try my very best to sing this. Nische prema pratite vine kare sanuman tahi ke karaj sakala shubha siddhi kare Hanuman siddhi kare Hanuman. And it simply says that he who reveres Hanumanji with unflinching faith, love, and respectful humility, is blessed with success in all his undertakings by the grace of Sri Hanuman. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the play. So one sunny Monday morning in a small shop in a normally quiet village, the shopkeeper and his wife began their normal everyday duties. The shopkeeper is a stubborn businessman whose main interest is making money his first priority. And his wife is a praying and caring person where her family is her first priority. Let us join now the shopkeeper and his wife in the business.
Pray, we have to fix this. This have to go out today. This have to sell today. We have to make some money. We didn't make so much yesterday, we have to improve on that.
Well, you know how things is be.
Yo, come, give me all the money. Where all the money there? Give me all the money, boy. Hey, where all the money there? All the way in that corner. Come, back up. In that corner there. Where the money there?
The money here.
Handmaid, give me everything.
Give him the money, give him the money.
Give me everything.
Give it. Hanuman Baba, oh Lord, Hanuman Baba, please protect me. Please protect me from
You sure this is it?
Hanuman Baba, please.
I don't feel this is it, All this bigness. You hand this all the money you have?
It was a rough day.
Nah, man, I don't believe that. You have some money, hey, give me all your watch and all your phone and all your wallet and everything. Come, fast. Busy thing. Hey, don't study shit. You sure?
Yes.
Nah, I don't feel so. Hey, you what?
Hey, leave me check. Let me check.
Listen to me. I'll chop you up, You hear me? I'll chop you up and push you in the freezer. I don't believe you. I'll show you how money hiding on that anymore.
Take wherever it is. Take, go.
Hey, you're throwing it on the ground. Oh God. You see that one? No.
Just leave me check. You have the money. Go.
Nah. I don't feel so.
Me ain't calling no police.
I don't feel so.
Me ain't calling no police. Go. Just leave.
Please protect us. Hanuman Baba.
Nah. I feel bad.
Oh, Hanuman
I
Baba.
feel.
Hanuman Baba, please protect my family. Hanuman Baba, please.
All right. But hear what? Make sure you call the police here now. I'm watching you now.
Boss,
I'm watching you. I'll come back to you
I'm
now.
watching the floor. I don't even know what you look like. I am not calling the police.
Right, very good.
I'm watching floor. Just go, just give me my child.
Here, go.
Are you okay? Oh, God, I was so frightened. Oh, God. Thank you, Hanuman Baba. Thank you.
Every day trying to do an honest day work.
We come here and we're just trying to make a little sale. Right? You could believe this. Every time you turn, somebody getting robbed. What person could do? What I supposed to do if I trying to do it the right way? And every time I trying, somebody always doing this. Best we just give up. Are struggling to make sales as is. And somebody beating your faith. You see that? You see that? That man beat me because I did not have enough money now.
Boy, is money you're studying?
The man beat me because I didn't make enough sales, girl.
Boy, you know you could have lost your child today. You studying money?
What are you studying?
I study my family safe. I get my daughter. What you studying?
You see how much money I just lost?
Boy, that what you studying that material thing, boy?
You see how much money I just lost?
Boy, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
I know what is what like to go through to have this child, to bring this child in this world. You know why would happen if I lose this child today? What I do? You see how that man hold that cutlass by that child? If blood deposit there, what would happen? What I do? Where money would I do then?
Could not do nothing.
I thought so.
And the cutlass was sharp, I felt it.
I feel that.
It was sharp.
You see, these fathers be telling you every day.
What?
When you leave home, boy, go on like the deer, say a little praise now. But no.
Why you always on praise for?
So who you think
But
saved me
no,
today?
you're gonna have me too.
You think it's the money that saved you? That is all?
Oh God, even when your head hot, press, everything is press.
Yes, praise.
You have to understand what I'm telling you. We have camera anyway you turn. How you call it in CCTV? It's camera what? They just for the bandit to come and say, cheese, smile.
What?
They're using the camera for nothing.
I know all them thing you're saying is true, right? But I'm telling you.
Listen, all I am saying is I am trying to do good. Watch. Go and call the police. Anybody police reach here yet?
Well, you know how the police
Last time we get
operate.
robbed when the police come. The next morning.
Well, you know how the police
Police come
operate.
in here to take fingerprint of the bandit footprint. Where them go do with that?
Boy, me and
Hey, all you feel is joke. I get robbed and the police come and take a print of the person's foot when they went up the wall. Investigation pending.
Watch me. All I know, when I say my prayers just now, I know my Hanuman Baba came and protected us. Lord. Me and we you studying, you're to trill better money and your jewelry, but it's my Hanuman that protect me and my child if you're studying we.
All right. You want your praise? All right.
Yes, me and my prayers. You see me? You better stay here and you go grumble about your money and your little jewelry.
Yeah, but
and
somebody had to make up the sale.
well,
we
right.
have bills to pay.
And me and my child,
you
we
do.
go in and say we
Please,
pray.
please.
At this time, you had noticed that the shopkeeper is left in the business while his wife and his daughter goes into the puja room. Unknown to her, Hanumanji is listening to her prayer.
Prabhu, thank you for protecting my child today. Hanuman Baba, I know it was you who stepped in and took charge of the situation. Prabhu, I could have lost my daughter today, but with your grace, she was protected. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your miracle. Thank you for heeding my prayer. Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Raghupati Raghava Raja Ram Patita Pavana Sita Ram Sita Madhuman Prabhu, there is just one small thing I would like to ask of you. Hanuman Baba, please help my husband to realize that you are real and that you exist. Please reveal yourself to him. Help him to understand that with prayer and devotion, anything is possible. Show him that a family that prays together stays together. Bhajalo ji Hanuman, Bhajalo ji Hanuman, Bhajalo ji Hanuman, Bhajalo ji Hanuman.
जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर राम दूत तुलित बलरामा अंजन पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुरेशा कानन कुंडल कुंजित केशा हाथ भद्र ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यामान बुद्धि अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय संजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हरषि उर लाए.
Pawana Putra Hanuman is here. Whole day she go play that CD. She inside and she like she's celebrating. We get her up. I just so fed up. Hey, you're trying. And when you're done fight everybody, you have to fight she too. Praise. Everything is praise. Every solution, every problem, every solution have praise for it. Like all this one is be chanting. But if it had a God, and it a city God, when you're frustrated, with this God, God, if you're here now, come now, hear me now.
I'm right here, son.
Lord. Thank God for pipe. All the witnesses are going mad now. I'm hearing things starting to talk to me.
I'm here, there, and everywhere. Wasn't you the one who said, God, where there? I'm right here.
Oh God.
The one your wife do prayers to every morning.
You hear when I say just now, where God is?
I hear everything you say. I know what you think. I know what you do. For example, you don't say your prayers in the morning. Why?
Well, I never know you just be listening.
Well, you know now. Do you know what your biggest problem is?
Besides the fella beat me with the cutlass?
You have no faith in God. Do you know what I look like? Do you know what I sound like? Do you know what my name is?
No.
I am Lord Hanuman, the one your wife prays to every morning, the one who she has faith in.
Okay.
Do you know that?
I know she just be doing stuff because I just get to pay for it. I just witness it. But I don't know what she's doing. I don't know them words, what it mean.
Son, I'm here just to give you a message. Somebody hold this before I use it.
Even God can beat me now.
There are two types of person in this world. A divine person and a demonic person. Which one are you? Do you know the meaning of those?
I don't know what those words mean.
A divine person know what is right from wrong. They say their prayers. They give thanks every day. A demonic person does not know right from wrong. Every day, divine people go through problems. It's all a test to see how you react to it, how you deal with it, and if you have faith in your God. My friend, if you think that you knew everything,
Yes.
who do you think released your child today?
Well, the bandit. The bandit had the child and the bandit let go of the child. That happened.
It was my will. It was me. It was your wife's prayer. It was her faith that made that man change his mind today.
So you mean if you did not hear when she was calling, you mean my child could have been like that child in Malabar we hear about the other day on the news?
Yes?
And so many other children that dying.
Yes?
So my child was the lucky child.
Yes? Because of my faith, my will, it was all my decision. Because of your wife's prayer, your family is safe today.
Wow.
For a person that has faith in me, unseen, even in my mercy or in my flag, they are protected. Just as I told Bhima, for a person that has my flag flying high, they are always protected from seen and unseen danger.
That's true.
Yes, it is true.
If I still can't believe I'm talking to Hanuman Baba.
I touch you. You want to hold my mukdar too?
No. It's not every day you get to talk to God, if you understand what I say.
Let me see them.
Well, no.
I feel like you need to... You believe me now?
But you understand what I mean? Every day we talk to you.
Not we, your wife. You don't say your prayers. Let me correct you.
But it's not every day you just talk back to us. So
I don't talk, but I react. And when good things happen to you, that's my reaction to you.
Yes, Lord. You touch me and inside of me, I don't know why I'm feeling like crying. But I realize how stupid I really am. If you is God, you is my God too. And you know inside of me, I always, whether it's my education or whatever title I have, I always use that to make me into a strong person. But you see that thing where you talk about, if I help my child, I didn't tell my wife this, but you see in the moment when that bandit held onto the neck of that little angel, and I stand up like stone and I couldn't move. I was a coward. I was more afraid for my life. And I couldn't help that little child. And you, without being physically there, you did that. Tonight, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for never saying thank you for the grace, the blessing, for giving me all I have, for everything it is due. And I just chose to pretend as I who do it, as if I could have do it by myself. Please forgive me. I don't know if I'll get this chance to talk to you again. Like
Yes,
this.
my child, you have my blessings.
Give me the blessing that from tomorrow morning, don't let me and my wife fight over this, but let me improve on myself for my children's sake. Give me that blessing, please.
My child, my blessings are with you and your family. I am here to protect you once you have faith in God.
I promise, Hanuman Baba, I will be better. And today, there is no greater proof for me than when you save my child. And I promise that I will acknowledge you in the morning, in my prayers, in my vehicle, in my place of business. Wherever I'm going, dear God, it will take me nothing to talk to you. Thank you for this opportunity. Pavanaputra Hanuman ki Jai.
We saw the part of the play where, listening to the wife's prayer, Hanumanji made his way to where the shopkeeper was. Unknown to the shopkeeper, Hanumanji listened to him and God revealed himself as Sri Hanuman. The next morning, the shopkeeper's wife was preparing for her devotion when she got a really big surprise.
Babe, come, let me go. We're running late. We're going to be prayers. We have to go in the shop. Wait. Where's this? You want to put on my here?
No, go ahead. Put it. I want to touch your hand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You all right?
Why is something always wrong with me?
Well, I don't know. I just
something wrong with me too.
You don't come in the prayer room?
All right, hold up. Press it down, fast again. Yesterday, I'll tell you something.
Right.
Yesterday, when you leave me, I thought I was hearing voices. I thought I was going, that was it. I thought I was going.
Oh.
You're taking me serious.
Yeah, well, I know you just be hearing things now, so are you sure?
I will take it. It turns out the voice I was hearing was Hanuman Baba.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm not making it up. Really. God came. He said, because you asked him to help me, to show me the way. And he come and he talked real nice. And he talked to me about faith.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that part where I kind of brushed off yesterday, where he was asking me what I would do if that person he cut that child neck?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell you how frightened I really was.
Hope you see the importance of prayer now.
I hope you could just give me a chance to finish talking.
Go ahead. I just taking the
Just trying
opportunity.
to tell you something and you just really still have my middle.
Go ahead.
I was very afraid and I felt very helpless. But the difference between me and you is that in that moment your mind led you straight to God. My mind just stopped right there. I did not know what to do. I did not know what to do next. I did not know how to handle it. I couldn't handle seeing that child in that trouble. And I am sorry for being the stupid husband that I have always been. That I always ignore your guidance.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. And I'm glad that
you're glad.
Hanuman Baba come and tell you that.
So I made a promise that it's something I hear from my parents, that the family that pray together stay together.
That is what I just pray for every day.
I know you just pray every day. Girl, give me a chance. So I make a promise that when we're doing this worship, when we go into jug, when whatever you want to do, praise-wise, I will follow you.
I like that. I like how that song. So come now, the way say we praise here a little bit and do a little bit of arti. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Sita Pavan Sita Ram
And from that day, the shopkeeper and his family practiced regular devotion. A Hanuman flag flew over their home and their business place as well, and they lived happily ever after by the grace of Hanuman Baba. As we close our short skit, please remember where we started with the first verse of the Bajrangi Ban, which says, I'm going to try to sing again. Nischay, you could join along too. Nischay prema
Vinaya kare sanman tehi ke karaj sakal shubha siddhi kare Hanuman.
And it translates beautifully into he who reveres Hanuman with unflinching faith, love, and respectful humility is blessed with success in all his undertakings by the grace of Sri Hanuman. Each of us should be so lucky as the shopkeeper to have their faith renewed, especially in times of tests and hardship that we go through. We at the temple want to remind you of the importance of faith in these struggling times, and we hope that you enjoyed our little skit. Until next time, Sitaram, and we now ask Panditji to lead us into final Havan while the group does a small chant.
In these last couple of verses, Guruji is talking, and it's so funny that he starts to talk about the darshan of seeing Hanuman, hearing Hanuman, having Hanuman, whether it is his name, his form, his murti, the image in your mind, the flag in your yard. He said, if Ravan was so lucky to have Hanuman, there would be no way the war would have gone the way it went. Ravan would have been the victor. That if a person should have a Hanuman Bhakt or a devotee of Hanuman as a friend, then that friend becomes the Hanuman in his or her life. Because that friend will encourage positivity, sattvicness, goodness. He says, look, O Ganesh, the wise, the divine person, seeks out Hanuman in the heart, in the mind and body of those people we work with, surround ourselves with, or consider friends. If he's in that person, just as he ripped open his chest and he showed where Sri Ram and Sita Mata live, you surround yourself with people, but do they have God inside of them? Are these the right people? For every parent that had the argument about the choice of friends or girlfriend or boyfriend, is this the right person for you? He says, the person who looks for Hanuman even in the heart of those around him, such a person is able to find mukti, liberation, very easily. Pavana Putra Hanuman ki jai. As we sing these last two shlokas, sing with me but clasp your hands. This is the benediction, the blessings time. This discourse brings about a lot of upliftment. Upliftment from what? The enemies, the troublesome people that sometimes plague our lives. Don't be so ferocious and vicious that you pray negatively. No, no, no. Ask Hanumanji. As he says, Guruji says, the person who listens to this discourse, let's hear what they get. Jai Bhole Baba Tab Sharanam.
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 Jai Samba Sada Shiv मुक्त हनुमान भक्त भीम से भाषा ये भ्राता भर भ्राता चैव एकरिष प्रिय प्रिय मैं भक्त हुएश्च जय भोले बाबा तब शरण
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 जय राम सदा शिव तब शरण
जय साम सदा शिव तब शरणम
For the person who listens to this discourse, for the person who has the character of Hanuman, for the person who has that friendship, or a person who is friendly with a bhakt of Hanuman, a devotee of Hanuman, that person who has the friendship of Hanuman, that person who has the affection for Hanuman, when the name of God is called, such people, tears start to flow from their body. When the energy of Hanuman is within the person, the pores start to raise. When these type of signs are upon your body, know that the Lord is with you. And with that type of Shakti and energy, where there may be negative pisach, bhoot, pret, where there be negative minds that surround you and they would like to conquer you, they would like to take control of you or your family. Where you step, he will step. And when he steps, they step away. When you empower him with that type of faith and that type of positivity, that dear God, today I walk and you walk with me. Today I work, you work with me. He says, oh Ganesh, let it be written that this Ashirvad, this blessing is given for the person that follows the path of Bhima. That when I was ferocious, when I was wild and untamed, I went to Hanuman. And by his loving smile and grace, I absorbed his teaching. I saw him walk in my life.
एवं ह्या हनुमान थरा पांडव नंदा ये सुनो भर्गा भर्गा भीमसेन टाटा आशीर्वाद ये आती जय भोले बाबा तब शरणा
जय भोले बाबा तब शरणा जय भोले बाबा तब शरणा जय भोले बाबा तब शरणा जय साम सदा शिव तब शरणा जय साम सदा शिव तब शरणा.
He says when such a person, when the dust from these people come into your place, people that have activated, people that are moving with Hanuman Baba and his teachings, these people run loose spirits away. When Hanuman is activated within the heart and the mind of my devotee, where will trouble come from? Where will it be successful? He says Hanuman hugs the body of Bhima and he says, you go for that flower. Go, brother. And by the embrace of Hanumanji, all the fatigue, all the tiredness, all the complaining, everything he was worried about, it lifted him off. It came off his body. His spirit was so high, energized now to do anything by the touch of Hanuman. Oh Ganesh, let every person that hears this discourse, let them be rid of the worries and the troubles, the pains and persecution. By his touch, by his name, let that manifestation of God come and save them from themselves. If there is affliction, if there is an addiction, let that be lifted. Just as he lifted that mountain to save the breath of Lakshman, let Hanuman save the breath, the life, the longevity, the livelihood of each and every one of his devotees.
मुक्ताये वृषभ मुक्तये जीवन मुक्तये तरपल हनुमान भक्तये आदि जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम जय भोले बाबा तब शरणम everybody Pavanaputra Hanuman ki. Keep your hands like this. We're going to do arti just now. Ganesh writes, as the grandson of Arjun is listening to this wonderful part, Ganesh Ji, who is writing the text of Mahabharat, he says just what the narrator said. We should be so blessed to have Hanuman guide our existence. Blessed is the person that allows others to hear this discourse tonight, for all those people that is assisting in making from food to prasad to the broadcast, the businesses in these hard times. Many businesses are closing. For those people here, may God bless you for your sacrifice. He says for those people that invite and allow others to come and listen to the glory of God, let troubles and wickedness stay away, stay at a distance, but never plague the heart and mind of such people. If you have done good, I personally am not in the practice of doing vote of thanks. But tonight, if you have done good, if you have done your work, tonight, let it be known that Hanumanji is blessing you. For those at home, for those not here, for the good that you do, God will bless you. Pray for the mistakes that we all make. Pray for those moments we neglect to say thank you, God. Pray for forgiveness for the points where we doubt God and we question His judgment. We question His decisions even if we don't know the future. Knowing that He knows the future, and we still have the mind to question Him. Why, God? Why? Take consolation that He is with you and He will never guide you wrong. For all those parents that are being plagued with children, dear Lord, every day we put on media, we see children fighting like animals in schools. For all the teachers that I guide as a pundit, we pray for Hanuman's protection because they are like soldiers at war, day in, day out. Dear God, please look after our young ones. Last night we talked about our gamblers. Today these young people are playing with their lives and their future. Dear God, if my child is given trouble, Hanuman Baba, I plant an imaginary flag on top of his or her head. Go and save that child. Hanuman Swami, my child is a little better. My child is a quiet child, a blessed child. Thank you, God. I do not take it for granted. Thank you, God. When my child can pass an exam, when my child gets up to go to school, thank you, God. When I get to see my child alive, thank you, God. Not too far from here, a 13-year-old child died of a heart attack last night. Reality now. Imagine the heart and the mind of those parents. God, mine is alive. Wherever that child is, wherever that home is, wherever those parents are, Prabhu, stretch your hands and touch them. But I thank you that I have mine. Dear God, you know the challenges that I face every day. Help me to face them. I am not asking to run from them, dear God. Help me to overcome them. Keep me on the right track. I am my own worst enemy. Nobody puts a gun to my head and say, put the liquor to your mouth, Pandit. Put the marijuana to your mouth now, Pandit. Nobody does that. And whether it is a little child cutting her hands to get attention or a parent that is negligent in their job. Hanuman Swami, help me, God. Help me. This is my prayer tonight. Vedvyas says, devotees, that if a person can pray like this, if a person, not like the shopkeeper down there in the play, but you are better than him, if you can identify where God lives and he is here within you, but if only you could treat your life, your body and your family like that, with that regard and respect, when will you be in trouble? When will you lose? Prayerful Pavana Putra Hanuman ki Jai. Devotees, at this time, let's all stand. As we get to wave this divine light, as we come to a close on tonight, discourse and satsang, I apologize for going over. So much to talk about, so little time. I thank you for your listenership. Tonight we chant just a little short arti as we sing for Hanumanji. Sing with us as we close off tonight. Ajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grihana devesham trailokyat midapaham Sono Hanuman Baba, Sono Hanuman.
Suno Hanuman Baba, Suno
Listen, Hanuman.
Hanuman Baba, Suno Hanuman. Suno Hanuman Baba, Suno Hanuman. Bajranga bali, Bajranga bali, Bajranga bali, Hanuman. Bajranga bali, Bajranga bali, Bajranga bali,
Everybody simplify. Let's sing together.
दृष्टि नव जयति उजारि कृपा दृष्टि रघुनाथ निहारी श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
Everybody.
हनुमान बाबा सुनो हनुमान सुनो हनुमान बाबा सुनो हनुमान सुनो हनुमान बाबा सुनो हनुमान सुनो हनुमान बाबा सुनो हनुमान श्री राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान
O Baba, Suno Hanuman. Now the professionals are finished singing. Let's sing a little bit together. Suno Hanuman, Suno Hanuman. O Baba, Suno Hanuman. Jai Rama, Shri Rama, Jai Jai Rama, Shri Rama, Jai Rama. Suno Hanuman. Baba, O Baba, Tvameva Mata,
Chapita Tvameva,
Tvameva Bandhushcha,
Sakha Tvameva,
Tvameva Vidya,
Dravina Tvameva,
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva,
Tvameva Sarvam.
Mama Deva Deva.
Daya karo. Give me compassion. Save me, God. With all your love. Prem Savaloma Pati Mahadeva ki, Pavana Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai. Jai Jai, Sitaram. Sitaram everybody. Sitaram everybody.